Welcome back to Travel Like an Oching. Sorry about the background noise. I'm in my hotel room the night before my cruise, and I wanted to give you an update on how things are going. I wanted to share with you some of my adventures as I prepare to embark tomorrow on the Carnival Panorama. I hope you're ready for a few of my travel tips that I'd like to follow as I prepare for my adventures, or just sit back and enjoy it. This will be here for you to replay anytime you need to. More after this. One of your biggest challenges on the day of travel is how are you going to get to the airport? There are multiple ways of doing this. You can either drive yourself, stay in airport parking, you can use a ride share, or you can hire a limo or taxi to get you there. The key point here is understand the cost for each method before you go. A lot of people will go with a ride share to get to the airport. If that's the case, if you're traveling at a very popular time, you may want to just look at taking a taxi. Because of the competitive pricing using a ride share, the price tends to go up during peak time. A limo, which will give you door-to-door service and is an elevated experience, may not be that much more expensive than a ride share at peak time. So keep your options open and choose wisely. Another very important point is to give yourself plenty of time for your domestic flights. Give yourselves at least 2 hours. Definitely for international, minimum 3.5 hours. There are a lot of things that can slow you down. If you're dealing with connecting flights, never take a connecting flight less than 2 hours. You'll need that time to get off your current flight and navigate your way through these huge international airports to get to your next gate. So try not to book flights with windows less than 2 hours. Once you've completed your travel to the various locations you'll be going, you're going to have some time either before your flight or mid-flight, or even just after you land, to figure out what you want to do at that time. I would strongly recommend, if you haven't done so, now this is optional, but it's something that you definitely want to consider. Certainly consider getting yourself signed up for a travel lounge. If you have a particular airline that you frequently travel on, in my case it's Delta, I'm a member of that travel lounge. You'll want to check because some various credit cards, just by using them, will give you access to the different lounges. Or if you're on an airline like Delta, you have to be at certain status level to be able to qualify. Before, what was happening was Delta and many other programs just allowed people to buy their way into travel lounge experience. Although it was a financial success for Delta, much better to be in a private lounge than to be out in the regular populace, such that you'll be able to take advantage of lounge access. Critical while traveling is always be aware of your allergies. When it comes to my hotel room, I wish I could say it was all good news. I unfortunately had a very bad time with my room at Motel 6. I want to believe some of the things that I'm highlighting here are not indicative of the Motel 6 brand. One of the major problems I had with this place was it was almost impossible to see the signage on the side of the building. The other challenge I have with this property is there was a flight of stairs you had to go up before you can even get into the front lobby of the hotel. There were no elevators. I came into my room and it was short of a nightmare. There was a strong smell of smoke. So this definitely has been a smoker's room, and they tried to mask that somehow. I could smell it in the sheets, I can smell it in the air, and mixed with that is almost like a moldy smell, like the dampness. I don't know where that's coming from. Along with that, I look around the room and I look at the walls. All the walls are scuffed up in all the wrong places. Now, I can understand in the luggage area the walls being scuffed because that's kind of a high traffic area. But even by the desk, there are like brown stains on the wall. I don't even want to guess what they are. On one of the walls, there was this strange yellow, almost like a watermark, a water damage type thing. Definitely something that a maintenance person should have seen and cleaned up, and they didn't, obviously. Talk about the bathroom. Bathroom is absolutely tiny. Got a tiny toilet, a tiny sink, and it is so small. Well, at least for me, I can't get into that bathroom and close the door. And the door itself is buttressed against the shower. The furniture is functional, so I'm not going to give them any crap about their furniture. However, at least clean the furniture. In multiple locations on the furniture, there's these nasty white stains. I don't know what kind of stains they are. I don't even want to think about the type of stains they are. It's very dusty, so the people that are coming in and turning the room clearly are just turning the bed. I'm laying on a towel, so I'm not directly against the pillows or the sheets. I provide that extra barrier. Is that going to be helpful? I have no idea. I just know that I have one night here and then I'm out. The good is the bed seemed pretty clean, like clean linens, and it seemed comfortable. I'm actually laying on it now. It's not that comfortable, but at least it looked comfortable. And in the bathroom, the shower was pretty big, so 2 positive signs. Another positive thing was the floors seemed clean. I also did a Yelp review on this hotel, so if you want to see that in more detail, feel free to go on Yelp and look up the Motel 6. But in any event, very disappointed. My message to you, my Travel Like an Oching fans, pay the extra bucks to get into a decent hotel. And I purposefully booked the Motel 6 because it was A, very cheap, B, I wanted to be able to give you a type of review to see if there are diamonds in the rough. And I struck out here. That seems safe. Other than that, I'm going to try to get some rest, and just going to see what's going to happen tomorrow on the cruise. Thank you for tolerating this bad review. The flights were great. Just the night before in the hotel didn't work out too well. Anyway, thank you, and until next time. So I want to summarize what we talked about with the hotel hack. There are some fundamental things that you want to make sure you do. You want to always check your room for cleanliness. And of course, I got wrapped around the axle on that because it was so glaringly obvious mine was not clean. Don't rely just on your technology, i.e. your cell phone or travel alarm clock. Always, when possible, request a wake-up call and make it at least an hour before your scheduled checkout time. Upon check-in, that you're going to need a late checkout. Don't be surprised if you see an upcharge for that activity. When first getting into your hotel room, put your luggage in your shower or your bathtub and keep it there until you've been able to walk the room and check for things like bed bugs or insect droppings or anything, any signs of severe neglect. Usually the hotel is going to be pretty expensive if they have food at the hotel. Simply hop in a ride share and go to your local supermarket and pick up some snacks and things to eat in your hotel room. Don't pay the outrageous prices of the hotel. Travel with alcohol wipes, and these are godsends for a lot of reasons. In the context of your hotel room or your cruise cabin or any place there's a public remote, before you even touch that thing, wipe it down with a wipe. And my final bit of advice for your time in the hotel before your cruise is to just get some rest. You're going to get a good meal and get plenty of sleep. I hope that was helpful.